Hello everybody, Darren here, and welcome back to episode 6 of my Satisfactory Let's Play for Update 6 and beyond. Now in the last episode we had just begun preparations for coal power, so we built this mini copper facility in order to begin manufacturing all of the copper sheeting that we're going to need in order to make pipes. Why do we need pipes? Well, coal power is really actually steam power, so we need lots of water. We should be good to go now, in terms of just getting started and getting set up. And as usual, I have a to-do list on the right-hand side of the screen that we can follow along the progress throughout the episode of setting up coal power as the major milestone, and then all the other ones are kind of like subtasks we're going to be doing. Sulfur, clearing forests, building foundations, building a little pump house, a pontoon, and then placing the lines to actually set up coal power itself. So let's just get straight into things. We're going to be driving north towards the big open bay, which is where I'm choosing to go to kind of build my coal power. Now, in between episodes, I've been a busy worker bee, and I've added a little bit more to this power area and just kind of color-coded it for now so I can kind of identify what's really going on. So just really quickly, to kind of mention what I've done here is I've reacted to some of the feedback and implemented it straight away that people had, which was I should add a box here for wood, another box for leaves, and both of these are going into constructors making biomass. And the biomass then comes around, merges, goes into this box, and then goes into here where it gets turned into biofuel, and then the final box that's kind of purple there, that's where we store all the biofuel. So we've basically expanded power and made it just a little bit easier in terms of how we dump our resources in here so it can get turned into fuel. But hopefully once we get coal all set up, we don't really ever have to do this again. Now, something that I've been meaning to do and totally kind of forgot to do over the last few episodes is go out into the world and actually harvest resources for the first time, which activates them in the MOM. So let's just go ahead and do that here, and then we can explain it further.
Data shows this as a mix of sulfide and sulfate minerals. It could be an indication of recent volcanic activity. A new research tree exploring volatile self-defense applications can now be accessed in the MAM.
So basically, I've also moved things over here just a little bit, colored it white to look all futuristic. So essentially we have our hub. We then have the awesome sink, the equipment workshop, the awesome shop, and then the MOM. So the MOM, the thing that I forgot about this game is that you don't just get everything through the tech tree immediately. It's not always there. We've just now unlocked the ability to get sulfur because we found it ourselves out in the world. And this actually happened to me in between episodes with mycelia. So I went towards where we're going to be building all of this coal power, which is just in this kind of ravine here. And down here, and by this lake, down here I was clearing some trees away, and I accidentally, I guess, cleared away some fungus, and then we got mycelia. So I've actually stored it in a box over here. Just go grab it real quickly. I didn't get that much, I only got 3, so I just barely touched on some. And that mycelia then activated the MOM and says, hey, you can now research this and find it and stuff and do other things with it and get other recipes. And we've just done that now for sulfur. So this time we actually picked up 20 sulfur, so I should be able to just research that really quickly, and that's then going to allow us to scan for it and find the actual deposits where we can set up miners and get it more reliably. Now the reason that we want sulfur in this coal-focused episode, even though I won't be able to push too far into it right now,
resource added to the resource
is so that we can actually get black powder and eventually the Nobelisk detonator, because one of the coal deposits that we're going to be working towards is actually blocked by a big boulder, and you essentially just throw these like little bombs onto it and then remote detonate it, and that's how you clear those areas. And I was wondering, because I don't think I've ever done that before, but people in the comments were saying that that's why I should be getting sulfur quickly. So it kind of just lined up well, because I also kind of came across it in the last episode, or in between episodes, and I was like, oh yeah, it just made a lot of sense. So again, this is why I love making YouTube videos and reacting to comments and stuff, because it's such a excuse me, sorry. It's choking me up a lot. Now, it's such a collaborative affair. You know, you guys say something, and then that, connections are made in my mind. I'm like, oh yeah, so that's what that does, and so on. Anyway, the reason I'm looking here is because I'm pretty sure along this area when I was out exploring, there was these giant boulders that have all these cracks in them. They're very obviously like gameplay focused boulders, they're not just scenery, and I was like, oh, there must be a way to clear those. So we have our answer, but in order to actually get it, what we're going to need is a bunch more sulfur, and then we can mix it now with coal in order to make black powder, and then we can progress down. Once we get steel up and running, we need 100 steel pipes, 50 black powder, and then we'll have this piece of equipment here. And then if we go further in this chain, we get expanded tool belt, more inventory. So it's definitely worth doing. I have to keep up my side progression reliably there. Now the other thing to mention just before we get any further is that on the awesome shop, I guess we can't really see what my previous purchases were, but I've basically bought a couple of extra things. So people have been asking me, are you going to build nice looking factories and stuff? Let's just begin our drive, by the way. Am I going to try and build nice factories? I'd like to, but I'm not cheating in this game. I'm purely just going through the progression like anyone else would. I'm not going to give myself tickets or do any hacks or cheats or give myself anything. That's the plan, at least. I want to play it as naturally as possible, at least at first. Other than just the little cinematic I do at the beginning of episodes now, there is no, you know, tomfoolery going on here. So essentially, it's just going to take me a long time to kind of get those tickets, because I got to put a lot of goods into the awesome sink, and it's going to take like 100 tickets before I can get most of the customization options that I'd want, and that's not even counting the things that I actually need in terms of functional items that I want to use. So in between episodes, I also ran out this way and extended the power lines. For some reason, I kept saying in the last episode, oh yeah, I'll feed power and water back, I mean coal and power back. I don't know why I was thinking that. Obviously, we just feed the cables back. I mean, I actually knew that in my head. I just don't know why I was saying it the other way around. What we'll do for extra coal power, though, is we will most likely set some coal up in the south. I think when we scanned for it before, there was some like down here or down here, I think. Actually, I think that's why I've left that stamp there. So yeah, we'll set up coal down there, and that can be used for like future recipes and stuff, because not all the... Sorry, I just got a bit confused there. I have the Minecraft soundtrack in the background. Your ears are not fooling you, and don't even tempt me to play Minecraft. I do have it looking pretty good though right now. It would be tempting to do. Anyways, so back to this game. Yeah, I was having a look. There's coal down here, and some of it's needed for recipes. Obviously, some of it will be used for energy, so we'll use all the coal deposits that we found here for energy. So I'll just leave the tractor here. We'll come back and get it later if we need to. I'm just going to take the biofuel out of it, because we're going to need most of this for our chainsaw. We're going to be clearing a lot of vegetation. Now, I cleared a bunch already, and that's why we've got power for days, for at least for a little while. Speaking of power, almost ran down without the actual thing with us. So just stick it there. I'll just feed these power lines all the way down. So I cleared most of the trees and vegetation here. Oh, there's actually a little hog here. Is there two? Oh my god, there is. Kind of feel bad for him. It just, again, looks like he was just kind of trying to run away pretty much straight away. Always feel bad when there's two of them, you know? It's like... It's not, you know, we're breaking up a family here. Anyway, dealt with. Alright, let's keep going. Alright, just pick up this slug. Not enough space for it. Oh yeah, we just picked up this. I'll probably make a box down there and then we'll set up some stuff. We'll come back and get that later. I have tons of materials with me right now because essentially I came down here, kind of scoped out the area, built some foundations, and I was like, yeah, I think this is roughly where I'm going to be building things. So this is going to be a building heavy episode, but I've tried my best to kind of what's the word, like pre-plan exactly kind of what I want. I roughly know anyway. Haven't actually built it, of course, so things can always go wrong, but at least I've got a plan. Alright, we'll just pick up some of this stuff. I'll probably ferry this back either in between episodes or soon enough. In fact, we should build our little box now, because we're already full up. Sorry. Organization, right? Oh, sorry, there it is. Yeah, let's just throw some things in here that I know I'll need later, and throw these miners in. Just keep one. Alright. Right, so there are some little enemies here. But basically what we're going to be doing is chopping most of these trees down. I like to leave as much as I can, but if they're going to be in the way, we got to get rid of them. Now, let's just draw that power line over this way and kind of have it along the wall for the cliff edge. Oh, I guess it's nighttime. It's going to get a little dark for a while. Just clear all this grass, take out the spitter or whatever they're called when they get close to me. We got some bacon here. Alright, good. We can use them for biomass. There's two of them, is there? There might be more than two. This is why, see, I actually responded to a comment recently when someone was saying, like, oh, I'd love to see, you know, enemies in the game, like hordes of enemies attacking your base, and you have to build, like, you know, munitions and fight them back and defenses and stuff. And I'm totally on board with that idea, but the reality is, look at the creatures that they've done in this game. Now, I have huge respect for Coffee Stain. I think they're an awesome studio and a great publisher, actually. And even Embracer Group in general, which owns them. So no shade at the developers, but just from what I've seen, I don't think they can do, you know, 1,000 of those creatures attacking your base reliably. So as much as I'd like to see that, I think they should just focus on what they're good at and what they're already really good at. But maybe when the game is basically done, they could try to optimize and add in creatures and really maybe hire some people that specialize in doing that kind of thing. I don't know. But it just seems like that shouldn't really be a priority, and I don't think it is. Although they are reworking animal behavior, so maybe they'll get there. Okay, so let's keep extending this out. Alright, so yeah, these trees will have to go. Basically, our deposits are just somewhere over there. So let's just whack out the chainsaw and start chopping. And obviously, it gets rid of multiple trees at once, so we don't have to go through absolutely everything. So there's our first coal deposit. If we just scan for it, we should be able to see them on the map. So there's just 2 right in front of us and 2 out here. Like I said, I've sort of pre-planned where the foundations are going to have to go. And then this is going to be great because we're going to pile up a bunch of materials. You can bring it all back for extra fuel and while we're building out here. Oh, I didn't take sulfur off the list. I'll have to do that in a second. There's an enemy just right there. Alright, just one more to go, it seems. Alright, good. So that's those guys dealt with. We might be able to keep that tree there. Looking a lot more clear already. Sun's coming up. Not too shabby. Alright, let's keep hacking away. So basically the idea is to just clear a path down to the water and then build a giant factory over this entire area. I just want to say that we've actually done that. So that's done. There's immense satisfaction in ticking off that list. I know you feel it too. People in the comments are pretty happy about it. By the way, this is the mycelia type trees, I guess. Mushrooms. Fungi. Alright, so we're just going to have to clear all of this, and then that'll be it. And then we'll switch to actually laying out the foundations. Are we good for our inventory space? Yeah, and we've piled up a lot more mycelia. In fact, we could always continue the mom research down here. Actually, I've no idea what's in the mycelia tree. I think we're full now. Let's just get another box somewhere on the ground. Put down a storage container just here. And let's just throw in some stuff I'll send up a bit later. Alright, good. Feel a bit bad, you know, knocking all the trees down, but it's gotta be done. You know, I don't make the rules. They haven't given us an option to plant trees. Nor do I think they ever will. They seem to be, they want you to feel bad. Oh yeah, so I think I said, right, in the Awesome shop, I gone ahead and got some concrete as a material. I'm going to be using that as a foundation for a while going forward. And I've also gotten some pipe wall holes and different things for pipes. And that's about the most I could afford. So that's what I'm going to be using down here. So I have in the list foundation as some of the things that we're going to be using. But it's actually the concrete version. So it means normally one foundation is 4 concrete, I think. Or maybe 5. And when you actually have the concrete addition to it, or material, then it adds more concrete to it. So normally you pay iron plates to build foundations. When it's the concrete variant, sorry, iron plates and concrete. But when it's the concrete variant, you essentially just have concrete. So you don't need any iron plates, which is nice. Alright, good. Pretty much got most of the space clear. We can leave that there. That's not going to get in the way. Just want to clear this area as well. God, there's so much. Alright. So we're starting with the 4 meter. We'll hold control to lock it in. Nice concrete panels. And it actually makes a different noise when we walk on it. Sounds nice. Alrighty. So we'll zoop this. I think something like that. And then I'll have to build these out. So what I'm going to be building is 11 times 21. So it's going to go out 21. And then sideways 11. So this is going to be big. And there's the boulder I was telling you about, by the way. So it's a big, obvious, cracked boulder. A little different than everything else. But not everything is fully clear yet. Let's just get this little bit, and then the trees over to my right, and then we should be good to just build out the foundations for a little while. I might make a tower. We'll do it from up high, so I can count it properly. Alright, good. Alright, that should be good enough. Well, actually, just a little bit more here, just in the way, on our way down. Actually, can this be picked up? It can, yeah. Alrighty, that should be good. Alright, let's pop down the tower and we can start building from up high. Okay, so the miner's obviously going to go on top of that one and on top of this one. Just build these out. So the way I've actually planned this is that this section is unfortunately lower than every other miner. It's just a little bit lower. So it's going to be a sort of a little mini depression where it's, like I said, just a little bit lower. I guess I've actually done that, so we'll do it that way. And then what I got to do is raise the next one by 1, I think. Just like this, and then we'll get rid of the bottom, and then we'll build off of this going forward. Okay, so now we've got, they're still like 4 meters deep, but this is just slightly raised over the other bit. I think I did get rid of more trees than I was expecting. I think I got rid of too many over there, maybe, and I meant to get rid of these ones, so that's fine. We'll still get rid of those. Okay, so this should come out, I think, 1 more, and that will have to go down, something like 11. We're gonna have this little guy, well, not little, this guy trapped in here. Have to give him a zap, maybe get him to move. And this is because we've got 2 ore deposits there and 2 over here, so I want to just not half-ass it, and we're gonna get the whole thing in one go. Obviously, I can't get the sulfur right now, but we'll build with it in mind. This whole factory, so we don't have to redo it. And the power we should get out of here is like crazy. It's like 16 times 75. It's like 1,200 or something like that. And our current power is like a couple hundred, you know. So this should set us up for quite a while to come, I think. Granted, we are going to be moving to steel pretty quickly, and then that's going to be fairly thirsty for power, but it should be all right. Just going to give this guy a zap. Maybe he'll run the other way. There we go. Damn it. Just build a temporary ramp for me to get up. Okay, so let me just count this out really quick. So I think, like I said, I think it's got to be 11 from here. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So that's 11. There we go. And I think also this has to come out 21 now. Now from memory, I thought I had planned it to go closer to the wall, so I don't know if I've got this wrong. But anyway, let's just keep going. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It seems right because I'm in line with that. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Okay. Man, the zoop feature. Imagine if we didn't have that. Wasn't always here. Okay, can we pick this stuff up now? Do I have room for it? Might have to transfer it to a box that's up above. That'll be great to bring with me. To go get more fuel. Whenever the power cuts out, I'll basically run back. I'll just see if I can cut some of that out, though. Alright, are we good? This is pretty much everything that I'll be taking back with me. I don't think I need any of that here right now. Nope. Okay, looking good. Looking good. So let's just, while we're here, pop down the first miner. Now the other one has to go this way, but of course we left our other stuff a little bit further out that way. So let's just keep doing the land clearance. The first two things, clear forest and build the foundations, which is what we're still doing now. So just got to clear this little hill here, and that's going to then encompass 2 other ore deposits. Guess I'll have to take this guy out. I guess he sank through the earth or something? Also, I know we still have like the cursed foundations here. It's going to be slightly raised, I guess, technically. Oh, there he is. Well, we won't notice that from the outside. I don't have the material to be paving all that as well, you know? Alright, good. Let's clear this area with our big manly chainsaw. 2 there and 2 here. And then when I get it in the awesome shop, I'll get some structural beams and things. It'll make it look like this thing is being propped up somewhat as well. Because obviously I don't like things just floating. Wanted to make it look as realistic or practical as possible. So there we go. Is that basically it? I think that's basically it. So let's just dump all this stuff in here. So that's everything we just chopped away. I'll take the ore out of there, I guess. Mycelia, leaves, lots of wood. Good. There's some mycelia as well. And then we have alien biomass that we can create as well. So that's over 1,000. So let me just run down this way. We're not going to do the pontoon yet, but I think that's basically clearing the forest and the initial foundations. I think that's that. Something in my mind is telling me that this is supposed to come out further. Yeah, it is. Okay, that's why. Sorry, little bird. Oh, you're getting in my way. Don't want to have to give him a little zap. I'll give you a little zap. Can you move? Oh, I don't want to kill it. Oh my god, that's it? Okay. Wake up, Mr. Tweety. Wake up. Okay, well. He had to die. Alright, so there we go. Extended, and then we need to bring this out, I guess. All the way. Yeah, I think that'll be it. So this just needs to come all the way out. And I'll just count it one last time. So you have to run down to get my box. I'm out of concrete now. And we're going to need even more foundation stuff down here when it comes to building what I'm calling the pontoon. Which is going to hold all our water extractors, and then all the pipes are going to feed up this beach. So I'm a little bit of an idiot, as many people know. I've forgotten where that box is. There it is. Okay, good. Okay, good. That's as much as we can take with us. Let's just leave this here. I think we can leave those trees there. I don't think they're going to be in the way. And then I'm just going to do one last count of... yeah, just one last count of like how much the foundations go across. Let's just build some stairs. I think that might be the edge. Okay. Alright, so that's... we can just count these things. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So that's 7, 8, 9, 10, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Ooh, I'm short actually. Should be 21. I don't know which side though needs the extra bit. Could be that side. But it could also be this side. I think it's the other side, so I think we're okay. Just bear with me while I check my little reference map. Alrighty, yeah, so it was at the back side. So I just added another kind of layer there. So that is now 11 times 21. That seems very specific. And then there's this little bit that juts out just for that extra area where there's miners. So let's just add in that miner now as well. And I want it to be roughly like this. And then there should be a space over here to add another miner in as well. Where we've... oh, I thought I left a gap. I think I'm probably just closed it by accident. Gotta find where this ore is. There it is. So yeah, this needs a kind of a gap of 2 or 3, and then we can just build the miner in here. So it's gonna need its own little bit of foundation just to be built on in the first place. Around here. That might be all it needs actually, and then we can just stick the the miner right on there. Does that work? Kind of does. Good. Yeah, it looks good, I think. And we'll obviously need to make a gap here. We'll bring that up then with a kind of an elevator thing. And just clear this as well. Alright, cool. So an elevator thing will bring it up here. If we get some railing and stuff, we can make it look really nice and kind of closed off in a way so nobody's falling down there, but that should be it. Alright, cool. But that side we don't have to worry about too much. We're going to mostly focus on this side early on. So that's going to be those 2 tasks done now, editing to do. So we finished clearing the forest, so I don't have to clear any more. And we got our foundations built. So the next thing is going to be the pump house and the pontoon. So let's get up here, start working out the pump house. This gives us a nice bird. We just destroyed the landscape to build a giant concrete enclosure. The idea is that this will then have another one here, and they'll kind of merge somewhere here and then feed into a bunch of power. So they should be basically just how we've got it over here, right? Alright. So the pump house I plan on doing on that side of things. And I think it's going to come across like maybe 2 or 3 walls, and then we'll start building out this way. Okay. Can't actually really build it from up here. I might just build another one of these over somewhere over there. I'll make things a bit easier. Alright. Just see what else we've got now as well. Yep, that's the fuel. So power still hasn't kicked off yet, so it's got to be running low soon. Once it does, I'll kind of cut and go run back. So again, just bear with me while I check my kind of reference map one more time, and then I'll be kind of going into uncharted territory from then on out. Alright, so just double check things. Seems pretty accurate. It's as accurate as it's going to get. So this is the idea with this. This area I want to be what I'm calling a pump house. So it's going to be where all the pipes come into it, and then there'll be extra pumps to give it the lift to just go up a floor. But I also just think it'll kind of look cool, so that's kind of why I wanted to do it. Now I think it's 3 walls. And then we kind of carve in this way. And it doesn't have to go too deeply in, but 2 or 3 layers, I guess. So I don't know, do I have the walls that I think I do? I've got that wall, and then inside logistics we have the wall hole. So that's what I unlocked with the awesome shop. Alright, cool. So we can just get started with that. Walls. This one right here, there, and there. Actually, just these two. They're going to be a disgusting yellow. Are they for a while? Yeah. A door. Door on this side of it for our little pump house. Architecture with stairs that lead right up to it. Alright, so we'll just kind of come in here and we'll see all the pipes along here feeding out that way. That's the plan. So, in order to get those pipes looking good and lined up and everything... Actually, this door can be in the middle. It'll look a bit better that way, I think. Alright, good. So then... so we have logistics, scroll down, we have our whole pipe hole flooring, but we also the pipe wall hole, which is at 700 now for some reason. That's obviously a mistake. I think the regular pipes I had to 700. Yeah, it definitely did. I guess they count as one and the same. Alright, so in each of these gaps we're going to have 4 pipes coming in. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then they're going to work their way up a floor. Just one floor, nothing too crazy. And we'll determine that layout a little bit later. But I can cut this back one more layer, I think. And then we're going to have the same situation on the other side here, where the door is going to be there for us to get out. And we're going to have some sort of stairs that leads up to it. And that's basically as much as I've designed. I kind of just know what I want to do now from here on out. So I'll just be winging it. That's the idea. The idea is to have all those... It's a nice ordered structure for us to kind of begin filtering the pipes out. And I think basically we're going to have walls that go along like this. I think it actually might just be 3 deep. Might make it better, yeah. And then we're just going to have a similar thing where we've got like piping that just comes through. So can't remember exactly how I did it. I think it was something like on each divot like there. And then I had room for a crafting bench here. Because when I was initially thinking about it, that's all I had done. Yep, so that makes sense. Okay, well, while we're here, I guess we'll hook these up initially. Why not? So let's get our pipes. Pipes. So this one goes straight up to that one. Now, you could do it that way. It doesn't look half bad, but I was thinking of doing the horizontal to vertical. It seems to just make a bit more sense that way. And you could do it the other way around as well, which would be weird. So you just press R to change your build mode. So you can have automatic, auto 2D, which I'm not really too sure what that means, and then noodle. Noodle is fairly self-explanatory. It's just like pretty dynamic, and there's not any rigid right angles or shapes to it. It's just like a noodle. So yeah, let's go with horizontal to vertical. I'm just wondering, would it look any better if I did this and then went up? Is that a bit more? Yeah, that's a bit better. Good. Right, well, we'll just do that everywhere else now. 1, 2. And like I said, this is a pump house, so the idea would be to add pumps to each of these. Is this even? It's hard to tell now. Okay. Good. And then we'll maybe build some stairway that leads over it so we can just check things if we need to. Obviously, because it'd be a bit awkward to get in there and check the different pumps. God, I love Minecraft music. It's so good. I like the music in game as well. I just thought I'd shake it up. Let's just build from up here. I was just struggling to kind of see the pipes from up high. Bah, there we go. Looks good. Probably need to color these pipes at some point. Probably color them blue or something. Kind of nice. What could we do, actually? This piping color is usually pretty good, seeing as this will be water. Now, I've never made it to the point in the game where we're transporting anything other than water. I assume there's oil. Excuse me, you could have black pipes, I guess, or something like that. Alright, looking good. So what we'll need then is logistics. We need pipeline pumps. We're going to need 8 of these. That's my plan anyway. I don't know. I guess we'll check the numbers after the fact. Okay, there's the 4 pumps. So each of them are going to give, what is it, 20 meters of head lift? Yeah. And that doesn't really need it, it's just for that bit, so it's actually fine. But we'll have another one out there that does the same. It's almost for the aesthetic more than anything in here. Although who knows, maybe one day I'll change things around. When we get Mark II miners, they'll be outputting much more. You can have much more coal and more water coming in here. So eventually this place will or could expand. And obviously there's other power in the game. I saw some video recently where people were talking about power and they were like, oh, you're still on coal power. It's like, oh. Anyway, looking good. I'm happy with that. So the next thing then would be to figure out where the placement is going to be for our actual coal generators. 692 generators? I don't think so. Okay, that must be a little UI bug that we're after seeing there. So it's going to be faced that way. And I need to work out roughly where this is going to be. I think I had it in line with this. Or that was my plan. But I wanted to come back further down, I think. Let me just check my map thing. Alright, yeah, so this is probably a good enough spot. The map thing doesn't really make sense at this point anyway, because I've started to build a little bit off what I had envisioned anyway, but this is as far as I've gotten, so now I'm just going to be winging it, but I know what I want to do, so it shouldn't be too messy. So that's going to be 4 straight away, just planted down just like that. Now the plan with this is, obviously these are going to merge up. Let's just get them at their first little merger already. Heading out the left side. And then just to make my hotbar a bit more dynamic, we'll add the second, how do I do that? 6, there we go. Alright, so Mark II belts, because 60 comes out of each of these. Something like that, and we're going to start feeding them down into all of these. But what they're going to need is lifts. Each one needs a lift. Because the water is going to be, obviously it's cheaper. That, you know, we can lift up coal for free essentially, but we can't lift water for free. We have to get power and pumps and stuff. But this will just allow us to send all of the coal along this way. So in theory, the way this works is, I think this making 60 per minute. I think each coal generator takes 15. Pretty sure it does. It doesn't actually tell us till we turn them on. 15. And they take something like 45 water. Oh yeah, it says there, 45 water. So 45 meters cubed per minute of water needs to feed in here. So what we'll do is start making cross junctions where we know that they're going to need to go. So about there. Okay, that allows our pipes to still connect just fine. It doesn't get in the way of anything. Just hook these all up. Actually, just before I do that, I'll lock myself out if I don't get the inside first. Obviously, we can just build. We could build from up high if we wanted to. Damn it. Okay, so they're all hooked up, just like that. Now this one will come out, and we know that's going to have to go into this middle slot. So we'll go 1, 2, and then just feed this thing all the way back. Plug it in, sort of. That's the first one. So the way this has to work is, because a water extractor, I think the way I'm doing this is 2 water extractors. Well, let's just see. Yeah, it says 120 meters cubed. Oh, sorry, yeah, per minute. So let's just say 120. Each of these takes 45. So basically 1 extractor to 2 of these. Yeah, it's not even. There'll be a bit of overflow, but that's okay. A little extra water. I'm fine with that. So the way I'm going to do it is 2 water extractors for 4 of these. And then 2 miners for 8. if that makes sense. So that's why I have 16 planned. I'm planning to do 16 of these with 4 tubes. So each tube handles 4. So another one's going to come out, handle another 4. Another one's going to go out, handle another 4, and so on and so forth. But the actual ore that we bring in is coming just from 2 miners. So it's a little different, but kind of, but not really. Because the way we're just splitting it. Now, I'm not splitting it very efficiently. The best way to split this would be to split it before we send it to the machine. But I'm just going to let it all pile up, if that makes sense. So 120 is coming up to here. And these take 15 each. So obviously that's 60 on one side and then 60 on another when we build the other 4. So I'm just going to send this down there and split it at every single way. So 120 is going to go 60-60 and fill up the first 2 machines. Then it'll hit the next ones, fill up the next 2. So it's going to be a rolling start, if that makes sense. Not the most efficient way to do it, but for space, it'll save us a lot of space. And for the sake of it all just coming online and working anyway, it's not a big deal. But what you could do is obviously split this. That's 120. We could split that 8 ways and then send them into each individual machine. And that way, I guess they'd all start at the exact same time. Technically more the best way to do it, I guess. But space-wise and the logistics of it just seems to be a bit messy. So I just wanted to let you know I've thought of it. But I prefer to do it this way. So the other thing now is with this one thing, they have to be offset. They can't be in a line because we can't invert the shape, and unfortunately this flipping box is just in the way a bit, so let's just move this box again. Okay, so I think it was in the last episode, it might have been the one before, I actually said that this box is smaller than the one you put on the ground. It's not, I just didn't realize you could scroll. There's actually loads of room in this. Cool, alright, so we just get this one out of the way now. There we go. So 4 more of these. Now this is going to be a little tricky to build, so I'll have to build a lookout tower. I can build it right in the center. Okay, right, we're getting compact. So we need that to be lined up, but maybe just one over. It would be nice to put it right in the dead center there, actually. I guess that works best. And this is a merger. We need a splitter. So we'll just build 2, and then I'll have this one as the one that actually counts. I'm going to get rid of the ones below it. But I'll try to give it some sort of like visual support, if that makes sense. Ah, crap. Okay, almost done. I'm amazed the power hasn't gone off yet. It's pretty good. Alright, these are hooking up very nicely. This is going very smooth. Compared to the copper factory, it helps the plan. There's a lot to do though. It's still taking quite a while. I thought I'd be moving through that list a bit quicker. It's always the way it is though. I'm enjoying it though. It's nice. Alright, let's get rid of these things on the bottom. Just tap control to choose which ones. You gotta look away though, otherwise you can get rid of the last thing you looked at. Now, it would be nice to, like I said, I'll give them some sort of foundation in a moment, just to make them look like they're not propped up magically. Well, you could always argue future technology in this world. Why not? I'm building things out of a gun. Okay, so this is where things are going to get a little trial and error-y. Just a little bit. I gotta find the sweet spot for this. And it's going to be difficult. So that's correct. I think that's as far back as it needs to go. Because we have to build one of these first. Yeah, I think it needs to move back just one. It's just a little too close to make it even and to leave room for the pipe properly. So if I just have a look at that, the line there, it just needs to come back one. Okay. Well, actually, let me do this. I'll just move this back one. Get rid of that one. And just copy that one over. And that way, it's easier to line up. It wasn't just... The chimney stack wasn't in my way. God damn it. I can't build because the chimney stack's in the way. Okay, so let's try that. Let's copy the lift, rotate it around. Seems to be in line. Good. Oh, my ankles. Okay. Alright, there we go. So let's just add these two. Almost done now. Well, actually, I guess we have to feed all the water up. That's going to be a pain. And we'll have to have a good amount of power ready for that, because the water itself... Is this right? Yeah. The water itself, obviously, in order to get the turbines turning, to send the water up here, it's going to take a lot of power. Okay. So, this needs its own pipeline. So, similar to last time, I'm just going to do the junctions first. Somewhere in line here. That's about where we want them to be. Alright, cool. Looking good. And then we'll just slot in the middle bits. And then do the exterior outline. Alright, now the exterior bit. Boom. Don't have to use... Well, I guess you do have to use junctions here, actually, but you don't have to use it on the end. I suppose I could just turn the pipe in, but I think it just makes things look a little bit nicer. So this is coming by to this spot. 1, 2. I'll just send this all the way down. Plug it in. In she goes. So I might make a little walkway thing that lets me get over this as well at some point, because I've just locked myself out. Can you slide under these pipes? I don't think so. Oh, you can. Wow. Sweet. Alright, good. Let's just take a little view from up high, have a look at that, and then we'll start building our pump house. Oh, sorry, the pontoon. The pump house is actually done, basically, from what I wanted it to do. So we'll just click that off. And I've sort of done place and line up the coal power. See, the pump house is done, and then I could do the pontoon, but for some reason I've done this first. But either way, it's all good. So that's kind of the place and line up coal power task is basically done. So pontoon is the last thing to do, basically. So yeah, this looks good, right? I think everything's working. We just need to hook it up to actual power poles and power lines. And then we need to hook this up too. So let's just get down. Alright, so once we turn on coal, we'll start getting fed in here, split amongst them all. So these two should come online first. They're both going to get 60. Once they fill up, then these two, and so on and so forth, until the final two at the end. It might kind of fluctuate a bit. They might kind of sputter before they come online properly, I think, because they'll get little pieces. But until the machines at the back are completely full, they're not going to get it, what they need. So how much stuff have we got left now? Loads. Alright, great. So that's, yeah, the next thing then basically is just connecting the pump house, our little mini pump house here. All the way down to the water. So we have to build a pontoon. So what I'm going to do to make this a little easier for us is just zoop some foundations the whole way over, just so I can get the grid correct. Now, you can obviously use the world grid. That's... Actually, yeah, I guess we could just use the world grid. Yeah, that's fine, because you can just hold control. Now it's in line. Okay, we'll just do that then. So let's just do something like this. Alright, cool. So again, we could build things to get over that in future if we wanted to. So this is going to be the first time that we'll have to do a bit of a drop at some point, and then create a second platform. So again, somewhere maybe in the middle, right about here. Is that one? That's two. Let's just get ourselves a lookout tower. It's a really building heavy episode. There's not much else to do other than just get this place up and running. The great thing though is once it is up and running, then power is just not really an issue for a long time to come. Because it's definitely bending. Like, I'm holding control. There we go. So I just needed to see where it was on the concrete. Now I know. So yeah, it's just auto snapping a bit further in for some reason. Alright, good. I think the others are okay. They seem to be on the right part of the foundation from what I can see. Alright, good. Alright, let's get down and continue this out one last time. Looking good though, kind of, you know, it's starting to come together. We'll just close this off. Yeah, it looks good. When you look at it just like this. Oh yeah. I love the concrete base as well. It looks much better than just the metallic base all the time. Okay, so we're getting close to where we have to build this pontoon. Just grab this coal ore, get it out of the way, and then we'll build these foundations out further just to see. We have to build way out to the ocean, and then we'll build fluid buffers in between, although I don't think we really need them. But I suppose there's no harm in having them. So yeah, something like, I don't know, somewhere here. So let's just build up again and do the same thing we just did, but I'll build it on this side so at least we can actually see what we're doing. Alright, cool. Now this gives us room to move underneath it, though that being said, maybe not room for the tractor, but maybe. You could always build a road arc that goes over it. So the idea now would be that we extend this pretty much all the way out, so we build a pontoon in the water, and it needs to be 3 across, I think. The way we're going to divide this up. Now I'm going to get rid of most of that in a second. This has to come down a layer one more time. Man, this is like a whole day of building. It's gone back to nighttime and everything. So, the plan was to just stick these in here, but it's going to be... Now, there we go. There's the power. It's going to be difficult if I thought you could snap, but I suppose it won't be the biggest issue ever. We can definitely snap them across from each other. And it's lined correctly. So we'll just start with there. And we need 8 of these. So I'm just going to slam these down. And bring that out pretty far. So we need 4 on each side. The thing I'm a little confused on is, I remember when I was working this out, I thought this needed to be wider than 2, but the way I've brought the 4 pipes is on... Yeah, I guess that works, that's fine, that doesn't need to change then. Okay, cool. Yeah, so we'll just hop down again and just lay these out then. So we can snap them this way, so that's good at least. That's a bit of an issue though. I don't know if the pipes seem to be a bit broken that way. Okay, well, I might have to leave it there. Maybe I'll go back, do the power, come back, and then we can just continue on in the next episode building this bit out. I know it's a bit building heavy, but there's really not much I can do. I don't really want to do time lapses in this series. There's so much. It takes me a lot of time just to plan these things even, rather than play the whole game off camera. But I really enjoy it. I just hope people do too. And it's coming together. It's just it's a lot of building, but the vision is coming together. So yeah, I think I'll just finagle this a little bit until I get the foundations the way I want. They're just a bit too high up. I'm sure I can do it, you know, where we have it essentially just floating right above the water. You know, really just have it like right there, starting there. Yeah, that's basically where I want to do it. So I guess that would be the way to do it in future, is just, see, that's exactly what I want. So I wanted it just like that. So I'll just pull that over to this side, add these things on either side, and we'll begin the next episode from there. So in between, I'm just going to run back, power things on, and then just continue right from where I've left off, essentially. So thank you very much for watching. The feedback that I've been seeing on the previous episodes especially have just been so positive, so thank you so much. I really I'm delighted that I'm able to play this game and people are able to kind of watch along and enjoy it and everything, so it's really a dream. So thank you so much for all the positivity. Do appreciate it. Tips always is welcome in terms of, I don't mean donations, I mean tips as in tips for the game. But hey, money is good too. I'm only joking. Alright, that's it for this episode. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Hey guys, thank you very much for watching, and remember, if you want to support the channel directly, you can click the join button to become a channel member. Doing so will get your name in the credits, as well as loyalty badges and emotes to use in the comments. You'll also get exclusive access to my Discord, where there's dedicated channels for each series I'm doing, and it's a great place just to meet others and make some friends.